Hey everybody, I'm Griffin, and this is Theta, and this is a death battle. No, that's not our intro. Welcome to Stone-Faced Reactions, where we watch videos and then don't react to them whatsoever. Hey everybody, I'm Griffin, that's Theta, and this is Stone-Faced Reactions, and we're spinning the wheel. Let's see what we get today. And it is Korra versus Storm. Ooh, wow, this is gonna be a good one here.
Yep, and it's
And
a
that is a
death battle.
Oh, there we go. A good old death battle. So between the a almost literal avatar of a literal personification of the deity of the entire world of Avatar versus Storm, also basically a god.
Yep,
So this is gonna be fun and exciting. I do get no, I won. You get the first pick. Who are you rooting for?
Storm. Duh.
Storm. There you go. I gotta ask, how much Avatar have you seen?
All of the first show, and I want to say probably like half of the one that Korra is part of. I can't remember what it's called. Avatar something, right? It has a different name.
Yeah. It's I forgot what it was called precisely, but yeah, no, half of the second one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that checks out. You
got
know
right about to
plenty
where the
enough
blood
about
bending.
Avatar.
Yeah, right about
Yeah.
where blood bending comes into play.
Oh, yeah, I think there's like 4 seasons, so that's like season one.
No. After they capture the guy and they start going like a trek through the snowy north or whatever.
Hmm. Okay. Uh well, so here we are. So we know what's going on. How do I feel about Korra beating Storm? So Korra isn't my favorite of the two avatars, unfortunately. but but she is still an avatar, and that's pretty scary on its own. I'm trying to find like the verbal language to describe like what powers she has, and it's very difficult because like the first step of it is literally just martial arts, but also you get to throw rocks when you do it. Which is basically equivalent to any mutant power in the Marvel universe. Any standard person is basically equivalent to a normal bender. And then there's people who are actually good at it, who are basically massive threats who could destroy continents if they wish to during basically a martial arts fight, followed up with the Avatar, who pulls in the abilities of every Avatar that's come before them. It's part of the point of their Avatar state, and can basically do anything. They can raise volcanoes with a single flip of their arm if they want to, split continents. That was like a big one during the early Avatar, showing Kyoshi literally just stomping the ground, separating out an entire continent from an island, and then just going, "Yeah, now my work's done." So there's a lot of feats that the Avatar can like link into, and basically any material out of Avatar can end up being used. So Death Battle can have a field day with this, honestly. So I feel like Korra's got a whole lot of stuff going for her, and a whole lot of techniques that could end up probably being very interesting when countering someone who has only specific weather-based powers.
So I want you to state this clearly for me right now. Do you
Okay.
actually think Korra can beat Storm?
Yes. My premise specifically for Korra beating Storm is going to be Korra has the ability to counteract all the things Storm can do.
Okay.
So that is going to be my thesis going into it. That's my bet. What about you?
Well, I mean, Storm has been in the comics for a long time, as well as the animated movie materials, which means that she has a lot more reference material to go fall back on.
Hmm.
And we know in the history of these death battles, the more you have references to, the more likely some crazy shit has happened before.
Yep. I mean, that's the nature of like this style of comic book analysis fight, right? Where it's like we're going to look for specific feats and then scale those feats, and of course, the more stuff you do, the likelier it is something is just off the scale.
Well, okay, so Storm has also been the queen of Wakanda, I believe.
Hmm.
She marries Black Panther at some point in the storyline, from what I recall, which means she also has access to, that material that Wakanda is well known for producing and having an emporium
Vibranium.
of.
I don't think she ever incorporates vibranium into anything she does, though.
I'm just saying, if she ever had the chance to, there her suit could be made of vibranium for all we know. Same way that
Hmm.
Black Panther have made a suit out of it. Um,
I'm going to recommend that to some people in a little bit. Continue.
we are also the most technologically advanced nation on the planet. But I mean that's beyond her. Also, again, she's like the god of weather, and you know how many times Death Battle has indicated, well, how much energy would it take to move all those clouds? I mean,
Clouds are big and heavy. Yeah.
I'm just
So
saying.
they're not off base with it. It just is silly when looking at it
I
abstractly.
don't have the minutia of storm facts to throw out like you can with Korra because Korra is only represented in 4 seasons of a show, where Storm is represented throughout. What? When did Storm come around? 1960? 60s to now?
Hmm. Yeah, a very old character versus a very new character, ultimately. There is an interesting thing about Storm, which I've read, is that she can like sense and manipulate life force on the planet. And I'm not really sure about the extent of that. But if she gets access to it and she has crazy stuff she can do with it, that could just be absolutely bonkers for this fight, honestly.
Yeah, she's
Um,
more than just weather control.
mhm. She also has like some good martial arts ability too, so it's not so if it does come to like hand to hand, she can do that.
I, it's,
That is within the realm of
I know that
possibility.
we're probably going to get a lot of hand-to-hand action because that's all these death battles end up as, but it seems to me that Storm could stay out of a hand-to-hand combat scenario if she wanted to.
Oh yeah, she could just literally fly and just never be hit. Um, there's one last thing I want to say, and that is Death Battle will 100% use the lightning bolting toad scene from the first X-Men movie.
Yeah, it's a built-in joke. You have to make it.
You have to make it. They're going to use it, and that's going to be what they're going to close out on. That's like my mini bet here.
Sure. I
So
mean, it doesn't have to be a bet. I assumed it was going to happen too.
I just we got to keep with the memes, and I guess on that, let's go ahead and watch.
This episode of Death Battle is sponsored by Blue Chew.
Blue Chew is a one-of-a-kind service that delivers the same active
Ah,
ingredients
yes.
as Viagra and Cialis in
The
chewable
ads.
tablets at a fraction of the cost and straight to your
Well,
door.
this we can
If
do
you
is
could
play their
benefit
ads
from
for
extra
them.
confidence when it's time to perform, Blue Chew can help.
And we've got a special deal for you. Try Blue Chew free when you use our promo code BATTLE.
Oh boy,
at
I
checkout.
can't wait
Pay $5
to
shipping.
That's bluechew.com, promo
To
code
chew
BATTLE to
blue,
receive your
I
first month
suppose.
free.
So there's a lot of
BlueChew.com
embarrassing
for
things
more
about my
details and
body, and I don't want
important
to describe to
safety
other
information.
people.
Thanks, Blue Chew, for
So
sponsoring the show.
this is not going to be one of them.
Are you sure? I'd love to. Sure, everyone would love to hear about it on YouTube, which notably has never
Avatar
demonetized
Korra,
anyone
the master
over
of all
this.
4 elements.
Storm, the X-Men's goddess of the storms. Weather.
Yeah,
The
no,
building
but
blocks of our natural world are nothing if not tempestuous and unpredictable.
Which
means you
outfit
gotta
for
be
Storm
some
are they
kind
gonna
of
go with?
badass to control them. He's
There's a
whizzing
lot of
around
good
on
outfits for
mistake.
Storm.
And it's our
Yep.
job to analyze their
Korra,
weapons,
meanwhile,
armor,
has,
and
like,
skills
one
to find out
outfit.
who would win
And maybe a coat.
death battle.
Avatar Inc., savior of the world, uniter of 4 nations, destroyer of cabbages. But like all avatars, after decades of service, he passed away. Humanity would have to move forward and prepare his next reincarnation to take up his mantle. But who could fill Aang's shoes? Her name was Korra.
Wiz, who is that?
Did you leave the door open again?
Deuces, gents.
Unlike her carefree predecessor, the hot-headed, obstinate Korra was an Avatar prodigy from day one.
I'm the Avatar! You gotta deal with it!
Well, Aang struggled to accept his role in the world. Korra never wanted to be anything else.
Not only is she an expert hand-to-hand fighter on her own, as a bender, Korra can manipulate the natural world around her through martial arts. And as the Avatar, she is the only living being who can bend all 4 elements at once.
Water, earth, fire, air. Not you.
Straight from the Southern Water Tribe, Korra can control tendrils of water, form massive walls of ice, and generate huge tsunamis.
Aang once raised the sea level to put out these huge fires. Looking at the size of the area and what it'd take to submerge it.
Yeah, they're doing exactly what I thought. They're gonna bring in every avatar and everything they've done,
And since Korra is a
which
reincarnation of
is
any and
valid,
every past
technically.
avatar,
Actually, it's
she
only
should be
valid if they
just
enter the
as
avatar
powerful.
state.
With earthbending, Korra can
Which
use big-ass boulders
they
around,
will.
shape and control metal, and even
I mean,
tear
no
apart
doubt,
the
but
ground beneath their enemies' feet.
That's a different
Kinda
thing.
like when her avatar ancestor Kyoshi broke off a chunk of a continent.
Hey, they
across
mentioned
a
this one
bay,
too.
And basically just created a new island named after herself. Queen shit.
By measuring the size of the island to get its mass and the size of the bay to get the distance Kyoshi dragged it, displacing this much rock would require an energy over 21 gigatons
I mean,
of
it's
TNT.
basically moving a
That's
continental
almost
shelf.
15 times more energy than the entire world's nuclear arsenal detonating at the same time.
With firebending, Korra can
The Avatar
fire
could
blast
end the
some-
world.
Well, fire. Jet into the sky like a rocket, or breathe like a friggin' dragon.
The perfect element to match Korra's hot-headed temper. However, her final element was completely different. Due to its inherently zen, free-flowing nature, Korra struggled at first to master airbending.
But like all good prodigies, she figured it out anyways.
With airbending,
By
Korra can
literally
shoot
just being
powerful gusts
granted
of
it.
wind, fly around on tornadoes, and create a cute little air scooter.
She used this element to defeat the bloodbender Amon, who was fast enough to dodge lightning.
He is not the only one. Zuko and Iroh have caught and dodged lightning as well, and Iroh even caught one from the sky.
There's a
The
lot
meter
of
a lightning
telegraphing
bolt
in the
is
show,
at
so
60,000 meters
they're
per
probably
second.
reacting to
Compare
that.
the distance
No,
as
they
they're
just said
doing it.
Iroh caught one from the sky,
Must
which
have
is,
been
you know,
moving
actual
over
natural
200
lightning.
times the speed of sound.
Ah, right.
But Korra's more than just a badass martial arts superhero.
But I don't know
She
why they would
also
bring it up.
acts as the
None of the
bridge
avatars
between
are
the
related to
mortal and
Iroh.
Spirit worlds.
The spirit world is a separate
I guess
plane
just
of
the
reality,
people in that
and Korra
universe
is
are capable
stronger
of doing
while
it
she's
pretty
physically
frequently.
there. Her direct connection isn't coincidence. She and every avatar before her are
Actually,
fused
good
with
point.
the
None of the
spirit
avatars have
lava,
actually done lightning
lava.
bending or reacted to
Every
it.
time the avatar dies and reincarnates,
No, there was
lava
that one
searches
point
out
in the
the
finale
spirit
with
to
Aang.
bond with their new body.
Please,
One
let for the
staple
next
of
10
Hindu
minutes, I
and
want you to
Buddhist
argue
cosmology.
just for yourself.
I've done a lot of research into reincarnation.
I'll
which
do it.
demonstrate
You don't
today
think
with
I
a
will.
broomstick and this anvil.
Wait, whoa!
Now, the Avatar is usually reborn into a different nation, but I've set this up so Boomstick will reincarnate into the nearest vessel, this identical clone body.
Hey, Wiz! I feel funny.
Why did you do me?
Where'd my banana go?
Cut off his leg and everything.
And of course that
Messing with
one
your soul,
Scooby-Doo
Korra
movie
can
where that
remove
exact
or
thing
restore
happens.
your
I mean, I
bending,
didn't watch
bring
that
your
one,
past
just
lives
watching
for
it in the
advice,
background,
and
like, what's-
tap into the kick-ass
And that's all the
Avatar state.
Scooby-Doo
The Avatar
movies you
state
need to see.
massively boosts Korra's raw bending power, turning her into effectively a demigod and the de facto most powerful being on the planet, if she wasn't already.
Despite that, Korra's no
She
stranger
literally
to
fought a
failure.
gigantic
She was
mech
severed from her
immune
connection
to
the past
bending.
avatars and was almost killed while in the Avatar state, which would have ended her cycle of reincarnation entirely.
I guess that would be the
last bout with
Vibranium
death
analog.
left her physically and emotionally crippled for years. Even after physical therapy, her fiery spirit struggled to reignite.
Korra's entire identity was wrapped up in being the Avatar, all the way from day one.
And the biggest trials she had to face were when her place in the world was challenged. Would everyone be better off without an avatar, or bending at all?
But Korra's nothing if not one hell of a fighter. No matter what life threw at her, she always got back up to kick ass.
Yeah, I'll have
Korra
to
once
finish the
blocked
show
an
at some
energy
point.
blast from a giant spirit cannon, which created this massive crater in the center of Republic City, and almost killed everyone.
Taking a look at the width and depth of this crater and assuming it was all vaporized, Korra must have held back a blast worth almost 6 megatons of TNT. More queen shit.
And during harmonic convergence, Korra tapped into enough spirit energy to turn into a giant kaiju and battle the dark avatar Unalaq for the fate of the world.
Wiz, I told you.
They
Check
can't
out
put
season
numbers
2.
on that one,
Okay,
unfortunately,
well, it
I
was
don't
cool.
think.
From taking down anarchist
Or maybe
revolutionaries to
fortunately.
fascist empires, Korra proved herself as an avatar worthy of her forebearers.
With her teammates Mako and Bolin, teachers like Tenzin and Toph, and badass girlfriend Asami by her side, there was nothing she couldn't do.
Queen shit?
Queen shit.
Come on, little girl. Give me your best shot.
Chump.
The worst
Boom.
face in the show
You
right
know
there,
what happens to a
jeez.
person who's struck by lightning?
The same thing that happens to everything else?
You got it.
Do you know what happens to white-haired mutants who
And of course they did straight up.
Yeah, I had to
They
start with
become
it.
badass weather witches.
After Aurora Monroe's parents were that, she was forced to fend for herself on the streets of Cairo, under the tutelage of Ahmed el-Jabbar.
The life of a street rat wasn't doing it for Ororo, so she took off across the Sahara in search of a real home.
And that's when she began to master her mutant powers. In the same way that Homo sapiens, humans, evolved from earlier hominids like Homo erectus. Go ahead. Homo superior, or mutants, are an offshoot of regular humans. They possess the X gene on their 23rd chromosome that effectively grants them superpowers.
That's not Beast, is
It's
it?
a lottery.
No,
You could
couldn't
end
be.
up like old Beak here.
Couldn't be.
Or you could end up like Ororo and possess complete control over the weather itself, while being super hot, unlike Beak.
For all she knew, she was a goddess sent straight from heaven. And that's exactly what the local tribes thought when she arrived in her ancestral Kenyan homeland.
Ororo's mutant gene allows her to psionically manipulate the atmosphere.
Air,
capable of
lightning,
summoning a
waters,
hurricane
and
with
sixth
less
sense.
than a
There we go.
conscious thought.
When she does feel like using conscious thought, something Wiz tells me I struggle with, Ororo can create storms that cover the entire Earth.
Her weather manipulation isn't just
Oh,
powerful,
damn.
but precise. She can call upon massive tidal waves, conceal herself in fog, and even generate localized blizzards cold enough to freeze lava.
She can summon bolts of lightning, even ones that are continents away, or generate electricity inside your brain. And she once zapped
All right, that's
Cyclops with
crazy.
enough lightning to restart an artificial sun called the Ring of Fire, a name that reminds me of the morning after Taco Tuesday.
Encircling the planet Polemarchus, the Ring of Fire provided all the same energy as a regular star.
But her favorite element is probably wind. With it, she can blow people away with tornadoes, suck the air out of a person's lungs, and generate enough lift to fly. She once flew fast enough to reach the edge of Earth's atmosphere from ground level in just a few seconds.
By measuring the angle and size of the Earth to get the distance
Oh, finally
and
somebody doesn't
estimating
move
a
at light
time frame
speed.
of about 5 seconds.
Yeah,
Aurora
gosh.
had to have flown at
What a
4,000
refreshing
times
change
the
of
speed
pace. Someone
sound.
who's actually
She can
limited
even
in
manipulate
how fast
solar
they can
winds to
move.
fly through space. Unlike winds on Earth, which are just the movement of air molecules through the atmosphere, solar winds are streams of charged particles, mostly electrons and protons, ejected from the sun.
Almost as crazy as how she can breathe in the vacuum of space. She creates a mini atmosphere around herself by gathering, stray hydrogen atoms. Atoms, those are like really small last time I checked. Are these writers just giving her whatever powers they want now?
It sounds like
How
it.
is that weather?
After like a
Aurora's
60
abilities
plus year
apply
run.
to any atmospheric conditions, whether they be in outer space or alternate dimensions. Essentially, anything even remotely considered weather.
Man, I wish I had crazy writers giving me random superpowers just because it's funny. That'd be awesome. Well, anyways, I'm gonna go use my rocket hands I've always had to get my beer out the fridge. Away!
Perhaps her most useful ability, though, is to sense changes in the weather with a pseudo sixth sense. Aurora literally sees atmospheric patterns and energy as colors, with the world
Seems
as
like
her
it would be the
canvas.
setup for when the
She's
fight happens.
so good with it, she could track a jet flying over New York while she was fighting the Shadow King in Wakanda. That's on the other side of the planet. Yeah, no wonder everyone thought she was a goddess. She is.
Aurora enjoyed all the worship and admiration until the day she was contacted by an American, Charles Xavier, with an interesting proposal.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
Join
I thought
the
Xavier was
X-Men.
British.
Oh, pretty please. They were eaten by this living island.
Well, I mean,
it's a long story,
his
but we're
institute's in
short-staffed.
America.
Xavier founded the X-Men.
Yeah, he
as a
moved over
team of
eventually.
mutant superheroes that would attempt to mend race relations between Homo sapien and superior through non-violent means.
Because what better way to teach kids in the 60s about the civil rights movement than with a bunch of good-looking lily-white teenagers with superpowers from upstate New York?
Feeling she had spent enough time blessing the rains down in Africa, Aurora agreed and was assigned the codename Storm.
And she more than earned the spot. She's proven herself worthy to wield Mjolnir, led a war against the Inhumans. and
Mjolnir
even
Storm
survived a
sounds
blast from her
very
own
scary.
lightning.
This is impressive considering her lightning is powerful enough to match Polaris, who once used her powers to punch through Earth's crust all the way to the planet's core. Assuming she pulverized a cylinder of Earth all the
Oh,
way
they also
down,
had dodge
she
beam
to
of
have
lights
exerted
there,
over
so yeah,
15
light speed.
teratons of TNT.
She once beat the mutant Callisto in unarmed combat, and Callisto has apparently mastered every single martial art known to man.
Despite her unbelievable power, Storm has trained extensively in hand-to-hand combat. You get it? It also probably didn't hurt that she's fast enough to dodge literal beams of light.
There it
Did
is.
you get it though?
Nope. And after kicking Callisto's ass, she became the queen of these
Just
sewer-dwelling
lightsabers.
mutants called the Morlocks. She
Oh,
really
the old
took to
X-Men
being
cartoon is a
worshipped,
treasure.
didn't she? Even by grody underground monster people.
Well, she later married the Black Panther T'Challa and became Queen of Wakanda too, so she really runs the gamut.
But even demigods have their Achilles heels. That plane crash from her childhood left her crushed under rubble for days, giving her a bad case of claustrophobia that rears its ugly head every once in a while.
But that's not enough to stop this queen. After the departure of Scott Summers, Storm became the leader of the X-Men, because of course she did.
And when Geordie LaForge eventually came crawling back, the two fought over who would lead the team.
Despite Scott literally being able to shoot death lasers from his eyes, Storm kicked his ass. Even better, she didn't even have her powers at the time.
Oh,
Yeah,
poor
that's good,
Scott.
'cause there's
Just
no one
completely
more
shown up
devoted
Beat him
every
without
opportunity.
powers.
Storm is.
Yeah.
An omega level mutant, but her greatest superpower is her bottomless compassion.
Mess with her team, and you'll watch as Aurora's heart of gold quickly turns to ice, as she quite literally steals your breath away.
Testing me, It's time you remembered why they call me Storm.
All right,
There we
the bets
go.
are
Yeah, I
set,
think I'm
and
still
we
gonna
run
win.
the data through all possibilities.
But first, if you're dealing with
I mean,
the
that
emotional
whole,
weight of leading the X-Men or maintaining the
coring,
balance of the
decoring
elements,
the
or,
Earth,
you know,
I think
normal stuff 'cause it's
constitutes a good
2021 and everything's on
matchup
fire,
against moving
check
a
out
continent.
BetterHelp.
It is
This
a
episode of
little
Death Battle
hard
is
to beat
sponsored
that,
by
yeah.
BetterHelp.
Going to therapy doesn't mean there's anything
There-
wrong with you.
It's more like
At the
routine
end,
maintenance for your
if
mental and
Avatar
emotional
wins, they're
wellness
gonna
to
pull
prevent
out and
bigger
say like,
issues down the
well,
road.
in this
Kinda
one
like going
side
to the
comic
doctor or
book in
dentist
the
for
developer
checkups.
commentary,
BetterHelp
it
is
said that this was
customized
possible.
online
Well, no,
therapy
it'll
that
probably
offers
be a thing
video,
like,
phone,
hey,
and
here's this
even
one
live
feat that
chat
we didn't
sessions
actually
with your
math for
therapist,
on
so
screen
you don't
before.
have to see
Let's
anyone on
math it for
camera
you
if
now
you
and
don't
show
want
you
to.
why.
It's much more affordable
Right,
than
right.
in-person
The
therapy,
classic
and you can
death
start
battle
communicating
move.
with your therapist in under 48 hours.
Why invest in everything else and not your mind? This show is sponsored by BetterHelp, and Death Battle viewers get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/deathbattle. That's BETTERHELP.com/.
I'm still thinking of
But right
Storm, but
now,
vibranium
it's time
panther
for a
suits.
death
Well,
battle!
this scene that you saw her hugging Black Panther, for some reason his name is
Mhm.
escaping me. They
T'Challa.
had T'Challa. There we go. Their outfits were the same color, so could have been.
Yeah. Now half the time she's wearing black.
Say what?
Half the time she's just wearing black because she likes it, I think, for Storm.
Could be. There's no reason she wouldn't have
Your
access to
powers
it.
are
Oh, the old
impressive,
X-Men and
but you lack
Sprite.
discipline. I'm the Avatar, master of all elements. You want to see for yourself? Of course, Avatar. I'll show you what an X-Men can do.
That is also the buffest Storm I've ever seen.
No, it's the same Sprite from the X-Men arcade cabinet game. The one where you play like 8 players play at the same time.
Right, right.
The game where I found out Colossus existed. Yeah, she can breathe in space, she can breathe underwater, it's fine.
Yeah, there's not a lot stopping her there.
Water, lightning, and airbending? Starting to feel a little less special here.
Scene change. Like any good fighting game.
Oh, we're spirit roaming it now?
Oh, hey, Sonic is in Spirit Realm too.
Who are you? Answer me!
So is Grandpa Yugi.
Yugi, put on a VHS again.
Team Logan, I won't let you down!
Cabbages!
Never be safe!
Why were you in the spirit realm?
Yo, good question.
You're no bender.
So glowing eyes mean she's in Avatar state?
Yeah, I think so.
So I mostly remember Aang failing Avatar state when he turns into a giant amorphous blob thing. So,
Yeah, that was supposed to be his whole character. and back to the real world.
I would love if one of these transportation things just brought us to, like, space. Korra has no ability to reiterate anything.
Mega Punch.
Now, if she was wearing a vibranium outfit, none of that would have
I
mattered.
know what you are, Spirit of Storms. Exactly.
Dang, I almost thought Storm was gonna lose there for a second.
Nah, total
You
fade.
fought nobly, Avatar.
KO! I think I just queen shit myself! This fight wasn't totally straightforward. Korra can dominate most fighters pretty easy with her raw bending power and martial arts skills, especially with the Avatar state. Not even some of the best benders on the planet like Zahir and Kuvira could stand up to her at her best.
However, despite Korra's awesome Avatar powers, she found herself outmatched by Storm's skill, precision, and overwhelming force. For instance, Storm's massively hypersonic flight and ability to sense and control weather across the planet meant she could always fight safely from a distance.
Korra's trained in martial arts from birth, but even if
A
she
fight that
did
just
manage
takes
to get
place
close and
halfway
fight
across the
hand-to-hand,
globe.
Storm's experience
Yeah,
with the
I mean,
X-Men
literally,
and
you would have no
defeating
idea who the fuck is
Callisto meant
attacking
she
you.
could keep up.
While Korra may have fought people who can dodge lightning, Storm can dodge literal beams of light. Even just using her flight speed exiting the atmosphere, she'd still be nearly 20 times faster than Korra.
Korra did have access to elements like fire and earth that Storm didn't. If she somehow found out about Storm's claustrophobia, she could theoretically trap her in some rocks to exploit it.
But Storm would be
That-
more than powerful.
that does
enough to
seem
just
incredibly
break out.
unlikely,
Her
of
lightning was
course.
strong enough to match Polaris, who punched a hole in the earth all
I
the
mean,
way
not
down
that
to its
unlikely.
core.
Yeah,
Like, the one
ultimately,
thing you
Storm
do
was
is Nurse
just
Bender.
way more powerful.
Yeah.
Remember that planet-sized storm she created? Well, I know.
Is of course the question of why doesn't every Earthbender just do the grab your arms movement in the fight?
By measuring their volume and the speed at which they moved, the energy Storm needed for this would be over 500 exatons of TNT, about 250 times more powerful than what Korra could output.
Yeah, there you
Considering
go.
This is the same woman who was powerful enough to reignite an artificial star. Results like that aren't outliers.
Even taking the fight to the spirit world wouldn't have helped, considering Storm has manipulated alien weather from outer space and alternate dimensions. She'd have no problem adapting there. And considering Storm's powers are genetic in nature, not spiritual, Korra would not be able to depower her with energy bending.
And none of that is counting the ways Storm could have ended the fight right off the bat, like sucking the air right out of Korra's lungs or generating a lightning storm. in
No,
her
they
brain.
tried doing that
Korra
in
was a
Korra
tenacious,
as well, and it
unrelenting
doesn't work.
opponent. But Storm's massive range, precise control, deadly skill, and unbelievable power won her this fight.
Don't get bent out of shape. Korra just couldn't weather the storm.
The winner is Storm.
Storm, literally God. Definitely should have won.
Check out the new
Yep,
season of
like I
Genlock
said,
on HBO
no,
Max,
not a doubt.
starring Michael B. Jordan,
Yep.
Dakota Fanning, and David Tennant in a
Aang
fast-paced
versus
animated
Elric. Did
series
we watch that one
inspired by
already?
mecha anime.
Is that a new one?
Don't know. Don't remember.
Yeah, I know. It's just so long. Dara versus Aizen. Who's Aizen?
Watch out!
Sorry, trying to stop the show from going to the next episode real quick and accidentally started another one. Aizen's the bad guy from Bleach. Spoilers if you're not 100 episodes into Bleach.
Ah, okay. I think I remember who that character is, and yeah, I didn't get that far. But okay. So Bleach character versus Naruto character. Naruto character's got to knock it out of the park, right?
Well, we'll see if we get there because we have another recording to do today, and I don't want to.
We'll
And you
see
get to
on
pick
the next
first.
death battle. Yeah. All right. So I've been Griffin. That's Theta, and we'll catch you next time, everybody. See ya. Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stone-Faced Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?